Marie Kondo is a Japanese businesswoman and writer, specializing in personal organization. Regarded as a guru of organization, she has sold millions of books on the subject and with her method, encourages people to bring the magic of tidying into their lives. Marie Kondo is also the star of the series Tidying Up with Marie Kondo, which has earned her recognition in the field of organization. Therefore, to help you eliminate clutter and bring order to your home, we have selected 9 tips from the Marie Kondo method for you to draw inspiration from and become the guru of your own tidying. Welcome to Quinta Essência. Number 1. Discover what brings joy. One of the fundamental steps of the Marie Kondo method involves a simple question: does this bring me joy? Let me explain. What you should do is look at each item in your home and ask yourself if it makes you happy. Once the answer is positive, that item should stay in your home and go through the organization process. Otherwise, you should thank the object for the time it was useful and let go of it. This process will allow you to have in your home only what brings you well-being. Furthermore, for Kondo, the ideal is for the objects that continue to reside in your home to be those that are part of the future scenario you envision for yourself. Number 2. Sort everything into categories. In the Marie Kondo method, organization is not done by rooms, but by categories. In other words, instead of organizing one room at a time, you will select a category of items and tidy it up, regardless of how many rooms those items are present in. So, if you decide to start with clothing, you should organize every space that contains clothes in all the rooms of the house. Only after that should you move on to the next category. Remember that, regardless of the object, it's important to ask yourself if it brings you joy, as we mentioned in the previous tip. And this should be done one by one, as that's how they will be selected. Indeed, it might take a considerable amount of time, but it's likely to be worth it. Number 3. Organize 5 categories. To facilitate the previously explained step, Marie Kondo divides the items in a home into 5 categories: clothing, books, documents, kimono, miscellaneous items, and sentimental items. So, when you start organizing a category, gather all the items from that category in one place. This will give you a real sense of the amount of things you own. After all, when things are spread around the house, we usually don't have an exact idea of how much we have, but when you gather the objects, the quantity becomes more explicit. This process often stimulates detachment, as it's at this stage of organization that people tend to realize they have much more than they need, or even that they have the habit of accumulating items they don't even like. Number 4. Pay special attention to organizing documents. As we mentioned, according to the Marie Kondo method, everything should be divided into categories. But papers, specifically, shouldn't all be lumped together. They should be divided into 3 categories. The first category includes documents that involve payments, like bills, for example. The second category is for important documents that need to be kept indefinitely, such as contracts. And the last category is for various documents that need to be consulted regularly. Remember, of course, that this separation should only be done after the papers have been sorted, following the first tip. Number 5. Store everything in predefined places. When it comes to storing, select the place where each thing will go. They should be organized with consideration for practicality in terms of use. So, avoid putting frequently used items in harder-to-reach places. This way, it will be easier to put everything back where it belongs later on. Finally, resist the temptation to buy many organizers. Remember that the intention is to let go of objects and use what you already have, not acquire more. It's also important to know how to fold clothes so that they remain visible and organized in the drawers and shelves you already have. Marie Kondo teaches simple folding techniques for all types of clothing in her works, considering the space they occupy and not damaging the pieces. Number 6. Leave sentimental items for last. It's not uncommon that during tidying up, people spend more time on items that hold great sentimental value. Moreover, when it comes to these items, it's usually harder to define the kind of feelings they evoke in us. For this reason, the organization guru recommends leaving sentimental items for the end of the tidying process. This way, these items won't slow down the organization process, and when the time comes to deal with them, you'll likely be more confident in distinguishing what brings you joy or not. Lastly, she suggests that these objects should be stored in beautiful boxes, receiving the care they deserve. The same applies to photos, which should be placed in lovely albums that can be displayed on shelves or coffee tables. Number 7. Enjoy the moment. Equally important is to understand that this process needs to be enjoyable. So, don't see organization as a boring task. Enjoy this time as self-care. Get rid of distractions and take your time to do everything calmly and willingly. For this, set aside time in your schedule, dedicate a day to organization, and make the most of it. Number 8, maintain the organization. After all the work to organize your home, you will likely want to keep it that way. Thus, Marie advises that everything that's been used should be returned to its original place. The kitchen and bathroom should be the most functional and organized rooms in the house. This means that the only objects that should be visible are those used daily. Simplicity is another key factor in maintaining organization. The simpler you can make your home in terms of task fulfillment, the easier it will be to maintain the organization. Number 9, let go of around-the-house clothes. Everyone has those very comfortable pieces of clothing, often older ones, that are kept exclusively for use at home during rest and relaxation. However, Marie Kondo suggests that while it's not necessary to get rid of all these pieces, it's best not to keep an excessive amount of them. It's essential to prefer, among these clothes, those in the best condition and let go of those that need adjustments you always postpone and never actually do. The point of this exercise is that, besides freeing up space for what needs to be organized, Marie advises that an excess of unused old items disrupts the flow of positive energy within a home. And you? What do you do to organize your home? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so that this and other videos from Quinta Essência reach others as well. Thank you very much